It is officially August. Oh my goodness. So the year is just flying by at this point, and that means it's time for a flip through. And I'm going to keep up with flipping through all of the main books that I use throughout the month, either on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. I will preface this with there are timestamps down below. If you're interested in any specific planner, just feel free to jump to that time frame and go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with my health planner as the first one. If you've watched my other flip through videos, this is a Hobonichi Weeks in the fresh green cover, and I house it in this 𝗦𝘃𝗃 heç 𝗦𝗵, I think that's how you pronounce it, cover also from Hobonichi, just because I really disliked the brightness of the fresh green color, and I have put a piece of paper in there as well. I'm not going to do a full flip through because you can watch any of my other videos and you'll see that it's kind of how it looks. As for July, not a whole lot going on. It was really, really unbelievably hot. Overall, everything was like super slow moving. My mom is actually changing houses, so I was with her for most of the month, honestly, and so all of this is kind of backlogged a little bit. Monthly here on my health planner, lots of different little notes that I changed colors in. We did end up going to the farmer's market, but we didn't make it to the peach festival we were supposed to be going to. And then our tractor got a flat tire, which sucked, but I'll get more into that when we get to the garden planner. Moving on into the weeklies, this was I guess this technically is the first weekly. I was continuing on with my meal plan section versus my fasting time, and I did do that for several weeks. I think towards the end of July, I was reading this book. It's called Fast Like a Girl. I talked about it in another video, and I really wanted to reintroduce that little fasting tracker because I was not being consistent whatsoever, and I think seeing it was really helping me. But then the first week that I tried to do it, I fell off because, again, updating it was just such a hassle, and I think that's why I stopped it in the first place. So trying to do it again was kind of challenging in the beginning. Also, these are Coffee Monsters Co. sticky notes. I was making notes from the book of like different fasting windows during different time periods of the month for myself. The whole book is based off of fasting based on your menstrual cycle, and I really wanted to give it a try just to see how I would feel. I've been fasting for a really long time, so nothing super new to me or challenging. I think the hardest one I did was the 38-hour fast. But I could have even gone longer than that. I just cut it short because my family was eating and I felt bad sitting out. But yeah, so that is the end. Currently it is Friday, so kind of halfway through the day actually when I'm filming this, so everything else is kind of blank, but we'll get into the August a little bit later. Moving on into the tracker page. I went ahead and left this pretty vague, so y'all could kind of read what I do for notes. I was really consistent with my vegetables for July, which was really good, and I was really, really consistent with my reading. I read, I think, 5 books in July, which was really refreshing considering I had basically taken a reading hiatus at the beginning of the year. And then for my sleep, it was just all over the place. There were days where I slept 10 hours, days where I slept like almost 4 to 5 hours, and I think that really affected my mood a lot. I think a lot of it was the going back and forth, traveling from my mom's house to my house, and we live like 30 minutes to an hour apart depending on traffic, and I think just all of that travel time kind of messed up my daily routine kind of situation, so it made it a little bit more difficult. But I will say I have been sleeping better now. So there's that. I was not as consistent with sugar intake as I should have been. I was really bad with eating a lot of sugar, especially my coffee. I was putting sugar in my coffee, whether it be creamer or maple syrup, things like that. So not the best for my sugar for July, but that's okay. As for workouts, again, I didn't do a whole lot. A lot of it was just moving my mom's furniture, boxes, things like that. Nothing really extensive. I mean, it's extensive because it's so hot, and moving in the heat just makes you sweat like crazy. But I only went to the gym once in July, which is really a bummer. But it was a really good workout when I did go, so I have that at least. As for running in July, we ran 3.5 miles or 3.25 miles one time. Again, it was just so hot, and like when I take the dogs for a run, it's honestly dangerous if it's so hot and we're out for so long for their health. Yes, I could give them water, but like also like the pads of their feet on the sidewalk or even in the grass or the dirt can be very, very hot. So I try to minimize that, and as a result, I didn't go out. And honestly, I'm hoping in August we're going to have a little bit of cooler temperatures, at least in the morning, so I can take them, because it's just so hot. It's like 108 every single day. It's ridiculous. Moving on into the show and media tracker. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but I'll say it again just in case. I ended up canceling all of my streaming services, so no more Hulu, no more Netflix, anything like that. So basically midway through July, everything like that was gone, unless I wanted to resubscribe, which my whole point was not to resubscribe, and I've held strong. I haven't resubscribed, but we have plenty of DVDs and actually like movies and TV shows on DVD, if that makes sense. So we've been watching them that way through our media system, and then we ended up seeing Oppenheimer in theaters at the end of July, and it is so good. Oh my gosh, I was gripped the whole time in the movie. And in case you're going to go, it's a long movie. I didn't know how long it was before I went, and it's a very long movie, but it was so informational and just so cool to watch the science behind it all, I guess. But yeah, so there's that. I do want to see Barbie, but I haven't gotten there yet. After that, we have my reading log. Again, I read 5 books in July. Crazy. I'm really proud of myself, actually. I was just a speed reader, I guess. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for my health planner. We'll move right along into my garden planner. This is another Hobonichi Weeks. This is in the bow and tie bunnies cover. I love this one so much. The bow and tie covers are always really nice. But yeah, so this one, we hardly got any rain in July, which is better than last year. So last year we got nothing, absolutely no rain whatsoever. And then this year we got a few early days of rain, but nothing in the later months. And I'm hoping in August we'll get some rain here pretty soon, at least to help break that heat that I was talking about. And here is the heat that I was talking about. So I know I have this kind of covered by my little magnet up here, but so yellow is 96 degrees Fahrenheit plus. Yeah, except I need to have another color for like 100 degree plus, because we've had, let's see, in July alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days above 100 degrees. And I mean, the nighttime temperature it's still high too. I mean, like it's almost 80 degrees at night. So it's just warm constantly, which makes everything else warm. Which was kind of a downer when it came to my garden. So I actually decided to let my garden die off about midway through the month. It was really hard for me to do it, I'm not gonna lie, but it was the amount of water that I was needing to keep it alive, and then also the amount of shade that I would have to introduce because it was so hot and sunny. And we weren't really getting too much more off of my tomatoes or the cucumbers, and the sunflowers had already bloomed and they were starting to die back. And I let it die, which was sad but necessary, and it'll be nice and easy to clear out for the fall garden, which was kind of my deciding factor on it as well. I forgot to calculate the total eggs, but when we get to the back, I could probably calculate it pretty quick. But let's go into the weeklies. So for the weeklies in July, this technically is the start right here. It was really just the same things every single day. So this first week of July, actually, or the end of this week, was when we first started getting eggs. and it was really exciting. So you can see 10 eggs here. And then as we move through the weeks, we got a lot more eggs. So this second week we got 28 eggs, and then 29 eggs, and then 35 eggs, and then 38 eggs. So as you can see at the end of this week, I kind of fell off updating this one. And that was mainly because I was getting ready to, help my mom move again. So it was just a lot of like prioritization of what all do I really need to write down. And this was not one of the books that I needed to take as a priority. So yeah, there's other people in my home that can help take care of the garden and the chickens and everything else. Which brings me to the end, which I guess would be this one here, where I wasn't even at home to take care of the garden. So I literally just drew this line saying that I was out of town. And then while I was out of town, of course, that's when everything breaks, right? So we had a tractor malfunction, and then also our water hose broke again. So we're going to have to get new water hoses for the third time. I'm starting to think that it's an animal and it's coming to like chew on the hose or something, thinking there's water in it. I don't know, but it's becoming a problem for sure. But moving on into the back. So I do this like on a monthly basis where I write down everything that I could plant inside, outside, or as a transplant, whether it be seed or transplant. And then on the right side, I usually like to do like a plan of what I want to do or a record of what I've harvested. So like for June, it was more of like what I harvested since I wasn't going to plant anything. Same with May. But for July, I'm trying to plan out what I want to plant for my fall garden, because usually I start those seeds in August. So with that being said, I'll show y'all August when we get to the August flip through, but these are the things that I'm planning on getting ready to plant. It's going to be pumpkins and squash. I'm thinking about doing another round of sunflowers just because they did really well, and it's going to be warm here probably for another 2 months. And then I do want to go ahead and start my seeds for my spinach, cilantro, which I'll have to grow inside, and possibly my brassicas. I'm not sure yet on that one, but I will go ahead and put my corn and then potatoes in as well. Then we went to the journaling at the back. So I do a weekly journal entry a weekly journal entry. So every week I write down like a little synopsis of what happened in my garden. And usually this is also where I start to write down how many eggs and things like that we were getting per week. I didn't do it these first 2 weeks. But yeah, I try to keep these pages pretty minimal because it's not like it's extensive. I don't know, and the space is already limited since this is a smaller book, and I'd rather just have my words and a bunch of decoration. But if I did, I'd probably want to use some kind of like floral stickers or something. But yeah, so I'll have to calculate the total eggs, and I'll try to remember to update myself for the August flip through so y'all can see what that looks like. But that's it for my garden planner. Next, let's move on into I'll do my common planner first, actually. So common planner. And if you missed it, I added stickers to the front of this, and I also did all of this gorgeousness in July. I'm so happy with how this turned out. It's called washi wallpapering. And if you are the person on Instagram who called it that first, I am so sorry. I can't remember who I saw post it, and I love this. And I had to copy, and yes. So then we have this month here. Again, just a couple of appointments in July, and then like a day of vacation, since technically the rest of it was in August. This is how the tracker situation turned out. Similar consistencies are following me from month to month, especially with my lack of movement in the middle here, which is what this section's for. Again, reading, I did really well. I did really good with my veggies, and I drank caffeine almost every single day, which I'm trying to drink less. It's a battle, but we're getting there. But yeah, so pretty much the same information, and my health planner goes in this section here, and I really like how this looks. So there's that. And this is just to help protect the ink from spreading from page to page, just in case I flip too fast. Then we have July here in the monthly spread. Again, it's kind of similar things that I've put in my other books, except I do have like my appointments. So like we have the days here that I was with my mom. Hades had a vet appointment on this day. It was his kitten batch. And then another appointment with my mom. This is when we saw 𝗦𝗵𝐼nheimer. This is when the tractor broke. And this is when I started my 36-hour fast and it went there. Pretty much straightforward. I did not get hardly anything done on my monthly task list, which was kind of frustrating, but I totally understand considering I was really busy with a lot of other things going on. Oh wow, I flipped right through it. So this was the first week in July. I really liked this color scheme of like the bright yellow and the pastel kind of rainbowy colors. I think it looked really nice, and especially with I think this was Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukusa, I think. It's one of their discontinued blue inks, but it looks really good with the contrasting yellow. I really liked how it turned out. Then we had the second week of July. This was a Coffee Monsters kit, Coffee Monsters Co. kit. I think this one's Happy Mail. I'm honestly not sure what this one's called. Don't know. But yeah, just lots of little things. This was another week. I did a rainbow week this week, probably because I was feeling down. You'll get to see towards the daily pages, at least in this book, I don't have as many as I should, honestly. But yeah, I was up and down for a lot of July when it came to working with stuff. Yeah, like here I just gave up and wrote just needed time. So don't ever feel bad if you can't finish a spread, okay guys? It's totally okay. But yeah, so that's it for that. This is the beginning here where I was out of town. Yeah, so there's all of that. Moving on into the tracker section. Nothing super exciting here is updated. Adulting log. I didn't hardly get anything done, but that's okay. Same with date night. We really just had a couple of dates. The farmer's market was really fun, and then seeing Oppenheimer. Then I had my running log, which is the same information in my health planner. This is the workout log. Again, same information. Then we had my show and media log. Again, same information. Then we had my reading log. Again, same information. I know it's kind of weird that I'm doubling my information, but I really am trying to test this book out to the max because this is what I want to use for 2024. And if I can eliminate having extra books, then I will. So if this book can handle all of this information as well as dailies, I'm going to use it that way. Okay, so let me get to July. All right, and here we are in July for the daily pages. These are basically blank note pages that I used for whatever. I like to do a cover page where I have like my goals and intentions, and then a monthly review at the end of the month where I flip back and kind of reread what I wrote and see how I did. Spoiler alert, July did not match. So there's that. As for the dailies, I jumped around a lot. So like you can see here, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and that's like I think the longest I went journaling straight, because then this was a day where I was like I don't really want to journal, so I did my currently inked for July, and I swatched out all of these washies from the washi tape shop. This is their 24 solar terms, so each one of these is like a season in the culture in China, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's in China, but each one represents a different season essentially, and we have already passed July 23rd, which was the major heat, and then there's another one too. There was minor heat in July 7th, and then coming up on the other page, August 8th is the beginning of autumn for them, and August 23rd is the end of heat. So for us in the US at least, the beginning of autumn isn't until like September. So when the equinox is when we consider that the beginning of autumn. So it's kind of interesting to see how they break up their calendar into different sections. Then, okay, so this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I did 3 days in a row at least. And then, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wow, okay, so that is the longest then that I went. Also, these mushroom stickers are the cutest. Oh my goodness. It's 𝗦𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗏 is her handle. I have it right here if you want to read it, but I'll try to put it on the screen. They're just so cute. I don't know if she sells them herself, but I got this batch from Sticky Club, and they're so cute. They're just utterly adorable. Yeah, so Thursday to Saturday, Sunday. I was just really jumping around a lot because I just wasn't in the mood to write, and I was so busy, and yeah. Ooh, this day was such a cool day. There was a whole lot of astrology on the 17th. We had a new moon, and on top of that, we had a north and south node shift, and it's kind of cool because it shifted into my north and south node, so I'm kind of excited to see how this goes for me for the next 1.5 years. Yeah, I think it's really cool. Anyways, moving on. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I did the hats because I was reading more of the Bridgerton series, which I'm still in it. I'm almost done. I think I have 3 books left. I'm on book 7, I think. And oh my goodness, they're quite addictive to read, which is probably why I read 5 books. Jeez. But it was really fun. A lot of these stickers, by the way, are either from Sticky Club, the Washi Tape Shop, or the Coffee Monsters Co. Those are the 3 places I usually pick from. The florals here are from the Washi Tape Shop. This is one of their newer releases, and they're so stunning, like absolutely stunning. You can get them with an iridescent foil or plain. I got them plain just in case I wanted to use different color foils. I don't like it when foils don't match. I feel like it looks kind of off. But yeah, this day I was trying to be better. So like I wrote all of my stuff for Wednesday, and then I wrote the date because I told myself if I write the date for the next day, then I'm going to write for that day. And then I didn't end up writing, and it was Saturday before I came back. And yeah, that is actually the last day of July that I did in this book. So kind of disappointing, but I mean, I at least did something. We did what we could. So that's it for my common planner. And then the last planner is the Hobonichi Cousin, or my catch-all, which is really what I plan on keeping at the end of this year. I'm just using the common planner, like I said, as a way to kind of see how I'm doing. So for July, I didn't even get to fill out my memory square at the bottom. I'll go back and do that later. But I did end up filling out every single day index, at least for the way it felt in the back. I updated all of my stats. So there's that. For the monthly, I didn't really update this one as much as I updated in the common planner, which was kind of interesting to me. But I did basically write down most of the same things. I just didn't take all of like the little notes from my other books and implement it into this one. And I think that's just fine. I mean, monthlies are kind of like meh to me because I don't really plan monthly. I plan more weekly, daily. But the monthly overview is nice if I have like long-term appointments. Like the days that I did have to be with my mom, it was nice to look back at my planner and see which days I had to go. Okay, so this is the weekly section. I tried to keep the same color scheme between the common planner and the Hobonichi, but these were the days that I started moving my mom the first time. And so we had to do, or no, this was when we were moving our furniture. Shoot, I don't know. All of the moves have kind of blurred together for me. And that's, again, it's okay. At least that's what I'm telling myself. This week was really fun. I liked the color scheme that I picked, this kind of like foresty, cool green color. And I had it with the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Jane Austen ink. I love how it looks together, especially with the planner washi from the Coffee Monsters Co. I think it looked really nice, and it all meshed really well together. These little shiny sunflowers are from the Sticker Guru, and again, because the silver foil and the gold foil, I'm not a huge fan of how this turned out, but I still really like these little icon doodles, whatever you want to call them, from Sticker Guru, so you can go check them out too. Not affiliated with them, I just like their stuff. This was a week where I used the new subscription washi I got from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I basically just did a lot of gray. Probably was feeling kind of gray this week. Like I said, July was really up and down for me, and I just kind of was rolling with it as I went. This was a fun week for me to do in the Cousin. I ended up using the fruit headers from the Coffee Monsters Co. and then a watermelon washi that I got from, I think, Jet Pens. I think it was Jet Pens. If it wasn't Jet Pens, then it was Cognitive Surplus. But yeah, it was really fun to see all of the different like fruits and colors and like play around with the colors and be a little bit more fun with it. I think this lifted my mood a little bit, honestly. And even looking at this now, it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So that's good, at least. And then this was the week, again, I fell off at the end here, which is funny because this kit is the Achievements kit from the Coffee Monsters Co. And at the end of the week, it just sad. Yeah. I think it was honestly just the back and forth and the moving and everything that, like, it affected my overall sleep and mood and everything, but that's okay. And then this was the end of July here. Again, I was out of town moving again, so I didn't have time to back plan or track anything that I did, so I literally just wrote out of town, and I'm trying to be okay with the white space. Then we move on into the dailies. This is a vellum from Sterling Ink. I didn't even finish my monthly review for July. I will have to go back and fill that out. I did it in my comment planner, but I didn't do it in the Cousin, which should show you which one that I like more. Anyways, the first 2 days, again, I was moving with my mom, furniture stuff. I had a few days where I journaled a lot. And I didn't just journal a lot in this book. I journal a lot in, like, my personal journal. And I ended up actually talking about this in my ink progress report, I think, because I went through so much ink because I wrote so much in my journal. Under the sticky note is a photo of some loved ones that I don't feel comfortable sharing their faces on the internet. These stickers are, again, from Sticky Club. I think the creator is Cosmic Spectrum. I try to write it down on the page somewhere so that way I can reference it again in case I want to go check them out. But they're really pretty. They're nice and foiled, and the textures are kind of interesting. It does have like a lip to it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that on the page, but they are very shiny. But I like the colors. The colors are really pretty. This was the day at the Peach Festival that we were supposed to go, and we ended up not going, mainly because of the heat and traffic. It was going to be crazy traffic. Just no thank you. This was a quote from the Fast Like a Girl book by 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗆. Your body is a nearly perfect machine. I really like that because nobody's perfect. It's nearly perfect. Like, you just practice, you know? And then, again, most of these days I did good with some journaling, and then I have days later that I just didn't journal at all. This sticker is so pretty. I hope the light can pick it up how sparkly this is. It was so pretty to put down. Oh, gorgeous. But yeah. Yeah, so, like, this was one of those days, like, words did not want to come out of my head. But then I have days like these where it was, you know, they just wouldn't shut up. So, again, I love this washi from the Coffee Monsters Co. I talked about this on my Instagram. I'm sorry. When I see it, it just takes my breath away. And I matched it with this blue ink. Just so beautiful. Some more journaling pages. Again, most of these stickers are either from Sticky Club, the Coffee Monsters Co. I think there's some Sterling ink in there maybe, and then the Washi Tape Shop. This was that really crazy astrology day that I talked about already. This kind of begins the downfall of the journal entries. I didn't do well on these 2 days, but I did well on these 2 days. And then I did well on these 2 days. And then, okay, yeah, there's, like I said, some days I just, Oh, this day I was having a really bad day, and I didn't want to journal at all. And I think I put in myself, I don't want to journal. And then at the bottom, I'm pretty sure I put, like, wow, I actually journaled enough. yeah, again, didn't want to journal. I wasn't feeling it these days. I think with all, like I said, the exhaustion from doing everything for days and days and days was just getting to me. So yeah, not a whole lot going on those days, and this is the end of July, when I was out of town. I love this washi from the washi tape shop. I believe it is called, it's floral something, but it has butterflies. It is so pretty. Let me see if I can open this really quick. But it is just absolutely gorgeous. And I love how many different designs it has in different colors, and it just matches everything because it's floral, and this is such a pretty one. And if you didn't know, I have a code for them. It's Danielle 10. You can get 10% off. But shameless plug, but we love saving, so it's okay. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my Hobonichi Cousin. This month was just a weird one for me, guys. Like, I don't know how else to tell you. It was just a weird month. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed a flip through of all of my books. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say. If you have any questions for me, I will also be happy to answer as best I can. But for now, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.